Brand new day and a brand new week, and we welcome you to our flagship program right here on ABS TV this morning. Good morning, Anambra. My name is Chidim Oranwa, and this morning we are starting the show by bringing to you stories that are trending on ABS website and also national dailies, and we have some guests with us right here in the studio this morning. But we are going to take a short break. When we come back, we go straight into discussion after meeting our guests. Stay with us. All right, glad to have you back on the show this morning. It's the time for press review. We have with us this morning Maxim Uzato. He's a public affairs analyst. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Chidinma.
And we also have Samuel Ololo, also a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Samuel.
Good morning, Chidinma. And good morning, Anambra. Dalono for Israel. Good morning, Anambra today.
Okay. Quickly, let's start with the stories trending on ABS website this morning. The first story we have this morning, Chairman Anambra Local Government Service Commission, Ezaka, state resolve to enhance service delivery productivity in local government system. Onitsha Adoni do showcases cultural heritage at 2022 Ofala Festival. Disaster, Soludo asks NEMA to establish office in Anambra. All right, these are what we have on ABS website this morning. Let's start from you, Maxim. The call, or rather the resolve that the new chairman of Anambra Local Government Service Commission, Ezaka, is pledging that he's ready to enhance service delivery and also productivity in the local government system.
Yes, one of the troubles of the new democracy had been like the involvement of the local government system. You find a situation where after the federal government and then the state government, nothing is really heard of the local governments. But I'm seeing that in Anambra now, there's a new development where responsibilities are being handed over to the local governments. For instance, the issue of waste disposal. You find that initially it was done in such a way that from top to bottom up, but now it has been devolved to the local governments. So the local government is the nearest to the people. If you don't get the local governments involved, you find that the masses are never really part of the government. And if the masses are not part of the government, then the government really doesn't work. So I like what Ezaka is saying, that now these deliveries should be coming from the local government. And of course, Mr. Governor has assured that he's ready to support them all through. So we believe that we'll start having good deliveries from the local government as opposed to those days when we used to have them stand idly by as though they are not part of the government when they are supposed to be the real key aspect of any government. Thank you.
All right, Samuel. Let's also see the story of the governor calling or asking NEMA to establish their office in Anambra State.
For me, I think it's long overdue, and it's a welcome call. I wonder why in Nigeria we are not very, very proactive to issues. It is, I think it was towards the beginning of this month, ending of last month, beginning of this month, that the story about flood disaster started hitting the internet. And then 2 days ago, I made a public announcement where I said we should forget the social media news and visuals that we see. The reality on ground is worse than we even see on social media. And that generated a lot of reactions. People were asking, and more wanted to know what really the situations are. But I want to keep this to the welfare of the citizens in Anambra and other persons in the riverine areas. You cannot effectively manage a system by staying far away from that system. And just like Mazin had said, when we talk about governance system, we have the federal, we have the state, we have the local, and he has established the important role local government plays in the life and development of the citizens. So for me also, NEMA, at least we have SEMA too, NEMA and SEMA of the state, in Anambra State now, and also in other states, they need to work collaboratively, have their what should we call it now, their office in these locations so that they can get first-hand what is happening, evaluate situations, and respond effectively. If not, people will just continue to make mess of the whole situation. And let us bear one thing in mind. This is a time where many Nigerians would want to begin to use this advantage to make money for themselves, as petty as it is. So if they have their offices and coordinating it, then everything can be channeled through them for effective delivery. What we want is better life of the citizens, especially the victims of this flood situation and whatever crisis that will be coming up.
Thank you so much for that submission. Let's quickly go over to the first paper this morning. That is the Daily Sun newspaper. The big story in front of the Daily Sun: 2023 polls, Tinubu Atiku fight dirty. PDP will win in Anambra, says Governor Okowa. Kanu, Ohaneze to meet Buhari seeks political solution. And then still under the rider of the big story there, I won't rule Nigeria from Dubai as part-time president, APC candidate. I will not lie to Nigerians about my health status, replies ex-VP. Down there, Constitution Review, NAS mobilizes a presidency, Labour against governors and speakers. Lawan, Bajabia Miller, Omar Agege may meet Buhari over imbroglio. Then flood, Rivers assures victims of continuous relief material supply. Federal government stakeholders to audit controversial fuel consumption figures. Terrorists planning attacks on government establishments, schools, markets, hotels in Abuja. This is coming from the U.S. Advises nationals on movement. All right, these are the stories trending in front of the Daily Sun newspaper. I'll move over to you, Maxim. Should we start from the banner headline talking about the two major political, presidential aspirants fighting dating?
Of course, because at the end of it all, we're going to have a president in 2023, and it can be any of them. And when they start talking about these things, it's incumbent for us as people who they will lead to really look at it. When they are saying that you will not rule from Dubai, they say they do not say something unless it exists one way or the other. There have been times that former President Atiku have been always in Dubai, just coming into the country anytime there's this presidential election and all that. Then after finishing the elections, you go back to Dubai. And somebody like the national leader, former governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the issue of his health had been up and there in the media for a long time. Most of the time he's not around in the country. And maybe after finishing this fighting dirty for now, the next thing you hear that he's in the next plane to either France or London. So anywhere in the world, we copy this thing from the United States. They query their candidates, whether you are old or to show them that you are healthy. Because we are having the precise situation in this country of Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, who after a time they will tell you that he's alive. Even at a point, the then incumbent president, Olusegun Obasanjo, had to ask him, Umaru, are you dead? On national television. It doesn't say well of us as a country that we're keeping this under the carpet. It's good for the press and everything to make all these presidential candidates to come clean, that you should at least have good health and prove that you are going to rule Nigeria from Nigeria. You cannot rule a country from another country and say that you are the president of the country, maybe because of either ill health or being too old for the job. This job is something that involves you more than 24 hours a day. You cannot say you are president of this country and this country is being invaded and you tell me you are either in France or Canada or wherever. you should be present and on top of all matters and attend to all the memos and all that. It's not a question where you delegate duties to people who may have ulterior motives. That's why we're talking about all these dangers in the country now, that some people are usurping the powers of the president to even do things that are harmful to the polity. So please, it's for me that this issue should be addressed now, before, because once the person gets to power, it becomes too complicated.
Okay, thank you so much. And just to let you know that you can actually be part of this conversation this morning, all you need to do is to dial the number displayed in front of your television set this morning. Now, our next paper under review is the Punch newspaper. Federal government subsidy spending to hit 11 trillion naira in 2023. We have the riders there. Government has spent 6.88 trillion naira on PMS subsidy so far, says NMPC and NAITI. Regime to spend 1.3 trillion naira on rehabilitation, maintenance of refineries. Federal government steps up oil theft probe, begins prosecutions. Then up there, federal government may announce airport concession winners this week. FCT risks attack, says U.S. and defense headquarters allays fears. Then we can see down there, 539 stranded Nigerians couldn't get UAE work permit, NEMA. Dubai jails Nigerian lady for filming maltreatment and family protests. Ex-convict rapes 12-year-old Ogun Popel to death. Samuel, over to you.
Okay. I would want to go in this direction. If we look at the headlines that you have actually mentioned here, there's something that is pointing out for us generally as Nigerians. This issue is making Nigerians lose focus, because I want to understand that Nigeria is a sovereign state, and being a sovereign state, there are a framework of operations. There are a framework of bilateral relationship between the country Nigeria and other countries. There are a framework of interactions between the citizens and their leaders. And when these frameworks are all faulty, anything goes. If these frameworks are actually working, then we should not be talking about Nigerians, the popular Japa syndrome. Nigerians should not be leaving the country for any reason. And remember that in biology, there is this thing they call law of survival. We would always want to survive. And people would always go from areas where they are not taken care of to areas where they feel they can be taken care of.
Can you just hold your thoughts on that a little bit? Hello, good morning. Good morning, you're connected. What's your name and your location?
Hello.
Hello, tell us your name and your location, please. All right, Sam, please continue.
Okay, so people would always move from where they feel, where they will always move to where they have greener pastures. This is part of life. So this is a wake-up call for the government. The government of the day should actually stop living in denial. It's enough. We understand very clearly that the formal administration was not really giving the citizens what they wanted. And that was why they themselves came with that word, mantra. We have started embracing that change, the new normal that we want to see. People being denied visa and work permit in UAE. The question now is, what are they doing there? How did they even leave Nigeria to UAE? Must they really leave? And this is time where we have a productivity issue in Nigeria, where people should be thinking inwards. This is time where we keep talking about SMEs. What are the SME framework for Nigeria? So that these people who are leaving, because for you to even wake up and say you're leaving, that means there's something in you that you feel you have to give, but just that Nigeria is not giving it to you. Why can't Nigerian government harness these potentials and assist the citizens? Because it is in assisting the citizens that they are growing the nation. It's enough of Nigerians being a laughing stock. Another thing I'm bringing out clearly is the relationship between Nigeria, Nigerian government, and others. I mean, we have this bilateral relationship. Are they not using it enough? When it comes to our leaders, they can easily attack at every snap of the finger Nigerians. What do they really do to protect Nigerians in other countries? It is important. And as important as it is, that is only when we can know. I mean, they say when it comes to governance, It is more like giving up your right to a particular set of people, knowing that they'll take care of it.
Right.
Unfortunately, if we are threatened that they cannot take care of our rights, we'll be forced to taking it and then protecting ourselves by ourselves, since they cannot do what they need to do. So please, the government need to go back, sit down, especially now that the election is around the corner. Even any area that we have failed, I mean, this is the time to begin to rewrite those wrongs.
All right, let's see what we have in front of the Daily Independent newspaper this morning. Big story. 2023 budget, federal government earmarks 6.3 billion naira for second Abuja runway and national carrier. Opposition parties, CSOs vow to resist move to sack INEC chairman. And then I wouldn't be part-time president. Okay, says Tinubu. We have seen that in front of the Sun newspaper. Down there, flood Serap gives Buhari 7 days to probe ecological fund spending. NDLEA arrests 4 wanted kingpins over 16 tons illicit drugs. And then police arrest IPOB ESN commander, destroy camps in Ebonyi State. All right, over to you, Maxim.
It's doubly annoying that we are talking about this Abuja second runway and then the so-called Nigerian carrier. We are borrowing so much money. It's not like we are generating the money we are using. You borrow money to build something that is not regenerative. How do we pay back all these monies and all that? So for me, it smacks of irresponsibility when we are talking about spending on capital projects that, for instance, the national carrier, I even tell you that Ethiopia will buy 49% of it. Ethiopia is another country that is supposed to be, without anything, was inferior to Nigeria. And this Ethiopia you're talking about is not private, it's owned by the Ethiopian government. So why can't our own government work where we can have 100% of it by ourselves, in terms of building it from Nigeria, instead of having to borrow money? You go to China and borrow money, and this is even our grandchildren cannot pay the debts we are already carrying, and you're talking about building a runway and then another runway and then getting a national carrier. I think our priorities are so wrong in this country that it's bewildering. That where are the advisors and all that? If it's like maybe during the Gowon regime when we said we had too much money, we didn't know how, our problem was we had too much money, but now how to spend it. But now, we don't have money. We are borrowing. Our budget is being sponsored through borrowing. Then you are initiating all these projects. And for God's sake, the government has how many days to go before 2023? So it's just like piling up pressure so that even the incoming governments will not be able to work. Because you're saddled with all these things, and it's based on money borrowed, and the interest are mounting. So please, I'm advising against such irresponsibility. That's the word.
All right. Okay, Samuel, what are your thoughts on this move by opposition parties and CSO vowing to resist move to sack INEC chairman?
By the virtue of the work I do, I work with JDPC, Justice Development Peace Caritas in Navy. And we are a member of Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room. For us, we feel this is the time where we should not even, no matter what the current INEC chairman, Mahmoud, has done or whatever is happening, I think this is the time where we need every stability that we can get. We are entering November. Before we know it, February is around the corner. So are they bringing in a new INEC chairman who would begin to understand the system, who would begin to understand the framework, who would want to understand even what to do? I think it's not important now. So for us, we have made that call. We've even made a communique that it is not necessary. What we should do as a country now is to channel all our efforts and energy to work with everybody that we can get to ensure that Nigeria does not completely become a failed system. And it is in leadership that process begins. If we fail getting the right leaders, then I wonder how we can get that country that we all aspire to be proud of. So for us, it's good, and this is a call for all other CSOs, especially those who usually sit on the fence or other opposition parties. This is not the time to begin to play politics. First of all, what is important is the development of Nigeria, right? So if the development of Nigeria is important, this is time for us to even support INEC. Regardless of the face of who is there, there are frameworks that we should be looking at. These are what should be made. And good enough, INEC has given us calendar and they're working towards it. So whatsoever that the government, especially the current administration, wants to do, I'm asking them, please, for the sake of unity, for the sake of the continuity of Nigeria, they should stick to development of the country.
Good morning. Yeah, this is ABS TV. Good morning to you. What's your name and your location?
Good morning.
Hello?
I'm calling from Managa.
Okay, go ahead with your contributions.
Why is it that everything about the virus is boring?
Okay, I think you need to change your position and call us back because your line is actually breaking. This morning, let's look at this day newspaper and see what we have there. U.S. Embassy alert on terror attack in Abuja, reduces services. UK orders follow. And then military stands ready. Schools take precautionary measures to move classes online. DSS sues for calm, says the populace should remain calm. And then down there, military, we are prepared to end all theft. Moody's, with a $41 billion oil sales, Nigeria got only $5 billion and downgrade rating. These are more what we have in front of the This Day newspaper this morning. Maxim, let's start with the banner headline there, talking about the alert on terror attack in Abuja. And we have seen the riders that even schools have moved their classes online. People are afraid, people living in the capital city.
Like my good friend Samuel said, that this is a government that came talking about change. This was the thing people complained about during Jonathan, that look, now it's even worse. So like it's a complete state failure. Mm-hmm. That if the US now can now use their superior intelligence to tell their nationals that our own capital city is unsafe and schools are closing and everything, and the government, as far as I'm concerned, is doing next to nothing. And we'll stay here now and something will happen. We will now be reacting after it had happened. So this kind of tragedy is something that I don't know whether the government is just being naive or just being part of the problem. Because ordinarily, there's nothing that stops you. But the first thing you say about a state is security of personal property. So like, if the state cannot guarantee that, then Nigeria is a failed state. When we read such headlines, how do you want me, like people will go to Abuja and everything. Can I enter the vehicle now to go to Abuja? When on the road, you are, flooding will ruin your life or bandits will kidnap you.
Now, apart from that, if a capital city is being attacked, what happens to the other cities?
No, that's the whole thing we're saying, that look, the whole country, because if where your president lives is unsafe, where can you now go for any kind of refuge? So it borders on them when we're saying that everybody who has any kind of opportunity wants to leave Nigeria, which is so shameful. A country gifted with all kinds of things. Even that from the headlines you read, the oil revenue, we cannot even make anything out of it.
Yes.
Because it's being stolen. And as one of the presidents said, you can't steal oil without the government backing you. It's not something you just come, maybe I come to your studio and pilfer your phone.
All right.
It's something they fix and then they continue to do it. And they've been doing it all through the years of this government. So that's part of the thing. Tomorrow night they will tell you why would the US people be harassing us. But they're saying the truth.
Let's know who we have here. Good morning.
Good morning, members of the studio.
Your name and your location.
This is Timothy. I'm calling you from Aba.
Okay, Timothy, how are you doing this morning?
I'm fine.
All right, go ahead with your
this morning.
Anambra is good. Go ahead with your contribution.
All right. Thank you for the great review this morning. I just want to contribute federal government, they don't spend the money where they're supposed to spend the money. And also, they don't spend the money at will. I don't just understand this very present administration. If I say that they don't calculate what the body do, you look at it, maybe that they're insulting people or you're insulting the government. But what I'm seeing here is that this present government, they just stand up and just do something. They don't review very well, they don't calculate very well before they come out with any project. They just meet in the night, they wake up in the morning and carry one project and begin to carry it out without thinking on how to do. Just like the man by your left-hand state area, that the money that Nigeria has borrowed, even the next generation, they cannot be able to take the money that Nigeria has borrowed. They are not even here. They don't want to know the implication of the borrowing and what they have borrowed. And the money they have borrowed, they are not thinking on how to recover the money again. They only borrow and do what borrow and do. Borrowing money to spend for something, which that doesn't fetch you any return, you have no meaning.
All right.
Before you borrow money, you just wait for what you are going to invest that money to which, and to know what you are going to then for what you are borrowing.
Okay, thank you so much, Timothy. Yeah, you've made your point.
According to the side of Atiku and the Ashwaji Bola Tinubu, of the way they do, presently, the government of Nigeria, I mean the people of Nigeria, this very time, Nigerian people are supposed to shine their eyes very well. At least, for you to know who you are going to elect, come 2023 election.
All right, thank you so much, Timothy, for that contribution this morning. Quickly, let's see what we have in front of The Nation, The Guardian, and Nigerian Tribune newspapers this morning. We're going to take them together and then we start the analysis. Now, let's see what we have in front of The Nation newspaper. Security alert in Abuja to forestall attack by bandits. US, UK issue travel advice. No cause for alarm, says Defense Headquarters. Floods. Lagos begin dredging of canals. 542 stranded Nigerians evacuated from UAE. Telecom sector contributes $70 billion to economy, says NCC. Investors' apathy threatens 10.78 trillion naira deficit funding. And then over to the Guardian newspaper now. Cholera cases that surge amid nationwide flooding. And we have the riders there. NCDC confirms 10,748 cases, 256 deaths in 31 states. Report a 42% increase in September cases compared with August. UNICEF, more than 1.5 million children at risk. Nigeria at extreme high risk of climate change. And then impact rank records out of 163 countries. We can see up there, Kano anxiety as Supreme Court hears federal government appeal today. Youth raise concern over 2023 elections as group offers path for peaceful exercise. And finally, the Nigerian Tribune, Tinubu Atiku in French row. I won't govern Nigeria from Dubai. Tinubu has no record of fulfilling promises, PDP. And then why Nigerian ship owners may lose out from $19 billion Dangote refinery. Footballer drowns after rescuing 5 flood victims in Bayelsa. Oh. Federal government, NDLEA nabbed 4 wanted kingpins over 16 tons illicit drugs in Abuja, Lagos, and 5 other states. All right, these are the stories trending in front of the 3 newspapers this morning. That is The Nation, Guardian, and Nigerian Tribune. Let's start with you, Samuel.
Okay, for me, I would clearly say this. We cannot extray the connectivity between governance, politics, and human life. There have been calls, security threats. Even the president himself has been attacked. So I wonder why we continue to live in delusional that Nigeria is all well. I think the first step towards solving a situation is acknowledging that situation. But this current administration, from every clarity, seem not to even admit or accept the challenges Nigerians are faced. Even when they acknowledge it, they easily take it back to blaming the former administration. Enough of that. Let us bear in mind that the security situation is going out of hand. When it started with the Northeast, it has almost overrun every part of Nigeria. So we are interested to know what the security agencies are doing. After all, they are being paid with taxpayers' money, one. And what is the effect of the state of security in the country? And we've talked about this investment. There is no more investors' confidence in the country. And Nigerians are already suffering. The little resources in the country are being stolen by our political elites and taken outside the country. So it means that for Nigeria to survive, we need to begin to talk about investors coming to the country and investing. And our leaders should stop taking our resources outside the country. They should begin to invest it in Nigeria. So that is why the security issue also needs to be fixed. Over the years, we've done intervention around health and primary health care centers, trying to see how we can improve healthcare facilities. And now we are with flooding. And flooding comes with its own consequences. Cholera, like it has been mentioned here. We are interested to know how particularly Anambra State government, both the governor, the commissioner of health, Anambra State Primary Health Care, the executive secretary for Anambra State Healthcare Development Agency, would strengthen the capacity of our health facilities at the community level to really begin to respond to these issues. We are interested to know. They might not necessarily call us to tell us, but they can tell the citizens of what their plans are so that the citizens can key in. If we don't do this, Nigerians will continue to die in drones. If we don't do this, Nigerians will continue to run away. And let me say this, maybe if it's a warning, if it's an advice. Our leaders can think they can do whatever they like and get away with it. The youth will soon take over. And when the youth take over, even in their deaths, they will be tried. This is always my last message that I always drop. So they should stop doing things as if they are the Lords and nothing can happen to them. Nobody knows tomorrow.
There's this issue, lingering issue, and which is national. People will think maybe it's a Southeast matter or whatever, but it's a national and a Nigerian tragedy. This Mazi Nnamdi Kanu matter. I think the judiciary led some kind of helping hand through the Court of Appeal question of this thing. Mm-hmm. I thought that the presidency or whatever would have keyed in and released him to reduce the tension in the country. Look, at the end of it all, if you are playing politics and you say you are like the father of the nation, this thing calls for political solution. You find a way to get out of this thing. The fact that they are now trying to transfer the judges who are now taking it up, whether to Supreme Court or whatever, you are just keeping, it's like a clear and present danger hanging on the neck of the country. And we are approaching a make or mar election. There is nothing better than inclusivity. And inclusivity means having all parts of the country gelling together to get to a purpose. So I think the government should find a way, a political solution now that they have missed the legal angle, to let Nnamdi Kanu go so that we can continue as a country that all sections of the country will be interested in.
All right. Well, on that note, we want to say a very big thank you to you, Maxim Osato, for joining us this morning. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Chidinma. Thank you, Anambra.
And also to you, Samuel Ololo. Samuel, thank you for joining us on Press Review this morning.
Thank you, Chidinma. Anambra, I don't know. Have a great day today.
All right. Thank you also for being part of Press Review. My name is Chidinma Oranwa. But after now, we'll see you at the other side because we still have other things prepared specially for you this morning. Stay with us.
Today I'm not cooking in the kitchen. I am visiting my friend.